This is Building Your Fuselage 101 with ALAF Squadron Commander Roy Greenwood. Okay, you can see here that we have our 3 fuselage template pieces and we have our 3 corresponding can pieces out of Mountain Dew for our fuselage. In this case, this is an F-86 Saber Kit, and so we're going to remove the template pieces since we have our 3 fuselage pieces cut out of can, out of Mountain Dew. And we're going to start by working on this nose piece right here. And you can see right here we've already pre-scored a glue tab with a ballpoint pen. And here's our Loctite gel glue that we're going to use. We're going to take this. You can use whichever glue you prefer. Again, we use Loctite gel. And we're going to take a generous bead of glue and we're going to place it on the glue tab right before that line that we have scored into the can. Grab our trusty pliers here. And we're going to carefully roll this piece. We're not going to bend. We're going to roll. We don't want to cause any bends or anything of that nature. And then we're going to grab our pliers, crimp it down, try not to get glued to it, which I almost did there. And we're going to hold it for a few seconds until, as you can see, it is affixed permanently. We can shape it later, but there you go. That's the unique nose piece to the F-86 Saber Kit. So we're going to put that aside. And we're going to move on to section number 2 of our fuselage. And again, you can see here that we have a glue tab line that is scored. There you can barely see it. There you go. And you can see that, again, we did that with a ballpoint pen. Our trusty Loctite super glue gel once again. And we're going to take it and apply a generous bead of glue across the entire glue tab surface. There you go. And we'll set that aside. And again, carefully roll until the one side meets the other side's glue tab. We do not want to bend. We do not want to force. It should just roll, come right over. Get it even as you possibly can. Grab your pliers, and you will then take and apply some pressure to that glue tab right there so that it does not come apart. Hold it for a few seconds. The Loctite gel affixes pretty quickly. As you can see here, we only have to hold it for a few seconds, and there you go. The nice Mountain Dew can is now rolled. Our second fuselage piece is completed. Looks great, nice and round, no bends in it. And we'll set that one aside. And we're going to move on here to the third section of our F-86 Saber. Again, there's the line that we did with the ballpoint pen. We scored it in using a ruler. There you go, it bends over. So on these models, you're going to find that typically we do have some that do have 1 to 2 fuselage pieces, but in most cases when we start getting into the jets and the more complex aircraft, to get the unique shape, you're going to need several fuselage pieces. Now this model kit has 4. We have some that have upwards to between 5 and 8, but that's just the way we do things here at Soda Can Models, aluminumAirForce.com, to get a more realistic model. So here you can see we're bending it over and we're getting ready to affix it and glue it on that tab. The larger the fuselage pieces, the more challenging this is going to be. This is a panel of 2 Mountain Dew cans, and it gets a little bit challenging. It gets a little bit unique when you're working with a panel of 2 cans, as you'll find. But as you can see, it is doable. It is a relatively easy process. So you're going to grab your trusty pliers again and apply pressure to the tab. Make sure that you don't have any gaps or bubbles, anything sticking up, and just flatten everything down very carefully. You don't want to put any dents or warps in the can. But as you can see now, we have 3 completed sections of the F-86 Saber kit. We have this section plus the other 2, and in the next section of the tutorial we're going to move on to assembling these 3 pieces together. Okay, in this second part of the tutorial, now we're going to take the second fuselage piece and we're going to join it with the first one, the unique nose shape piece of the F-86 Saber kit. So we're going to get our trusty Loctite gel glue and put it on these little fillet glue tabs on the second fuselage piece. Here I'll try to get a close-up so you can see it. But these little teeth, or these glue tabs that we use for our fuselage pieces, will allow you to take that first fuselage piece or the nose piece and affix it over these glue tabs. So that's what we're doing here, is we're running glue, generous beads of glue over the tabs. We're going to take section 1, line up the seams on the bottom where we glued them together, and then we're going to press the nose into place on top of the second fuselage piece, as you can see right here. and we'll hold it down for a few seconds. Again, the Loctite, I like it because it glues fairly quickly. We can shape this after the fact to get the right shape, you know, the right sort of oval shape that the F86 Saber has, but as you can see, we have section 1 and 2 joined successfully. We have our F86 Saber nose taking shape, and this is how we work the fuselage going forward. Relatively easy. Okay, so here's section 3, and we're going to mate it with sections 1 and 2. Okay, in this last section of the tutorial, we're going to mate fuselage sections 1 and 2 to the third piece. I have switched to a different glue here. This is Caliber Super Glue Gel, a little bit slower setting, a little bit more forgiving than the Loctite. So I'm going to take and lay a generous bead of glue on the inside of what would be fuselage section 2. It's now affixed to section 1 if you'd followed the entire tutorial here. So again, a generous bead all the way around. The glue fillets from section 3. And we're lining up those seams, as you can see right here. That's what I was pointing to. And we're going to insert those glue fillets, as I said, into section 2. So now we have sections 1, 2, and 3 of our fuselage coming together. And again, we use the Caliber Super Glue Gel. It's a little bit more forgiving. I'm making final adjustments, as you can see, trying to line up the seams on the bottom, but also trying to line up the nose so that it doesn't point up or down or kind of left or right. Again, that's where this Caliber Super Glue Gel is a little bit more forgiving than the Loctite. The Loctite, you wouldn't have as much time. So again, I'm making the final adjustments, as you can see here, and you know, trying to make sure that I get it straight. And this is our unique fuselage system that we use here at Soda Can Models, AluminumAirForce.com. Again, multiple pieces make for a better model. And there you can see we have 3 sections lined up of our fuselage. This is our F86 Saber Kit being built out of Mountain Dew. And this tutorial is showing you how easy it is to really build one of our models. It's not that bad. Once you get the hang of it, you can build any of our kits, and you're good to go from here. Thank you for watching.